He's now 25 years old. Coach.
Other team, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind it.
He sounds like a guy that wants to go, and I don't blame him one bit.
Okay. This is the iHeart Radio station, the iHeart Radio station, and make sure you follow that on YouTube, because I remember I had to get on the YouTube live stream at a time, because you go to YouTube videos because you gotta download videos, like you gotta review Raw, you gotta review Smackdown. But Wednesday I don't get on AEW Dynamite watch along. But Friday I don't do a show. But sometimes if I feel like doing a Friday night Smackdown show on an iHeart Radio show. So either way, that AEW, I couldn't do a show on Saturday because AEW Dynamite have been pushed to Saturday night, because they are going to be on there two Saturdays. They are going to be on there, and then you are going to have me coming on the Sunday, because I know we got football going on, and we the much got I mean, football is gonna be going on. So I'm just doing it just to let you know we have football is gonna be going on the Sunday, because I know my Texas man, the Chargers, they lost to the Browns. The Rams beat the New York Knicks team, one of the worst teams in the NFL. That's my team now. So the Cowboys beat the New England Patriots. And I see that because it's a girl on Instagram named CC Lambert. So she is a Cowboy fan, because she loved the Cowboys. But my sister is a Cowboy fan. My my husband is a Cowboy fan. But look, I am a Chargers fan. I'm a Texans fan. I am a New Orleans Saints fan. I am a who else I'm gonna be a fan of? I know I'm a Texas fan, but they suck though, because they are gonna be in a rebuilding process for the next 2 or 3 years though. And then they got because the head coach of staff for David Culley, he is not trying to win no football games this year, because you got David Mills out there with wide receiver like Nico Collins, who either much have been injured. He been out for the past 5 weeks, but he is gonna be a stud in the NFL to come, because he can jump up and beat you one-on-one in coverage. He can beat you one-on-one in coverage. He can catch those 50-50 balls. And then Nico Collins is gonna be a stud on the Texans many years to come, to help Houston Texans with this offense. And they did not use him much with the Indianapolis Colts.
Not a single starter. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do.
And they did not use him much with the Indianapolis Colts. And either much with the Texans offense is the one that usually has David Cutter though, everybody want to tell me he's a good head coach and all that, but to me, that he don't run the offense, he don't come up with no game plans with this offense, he don't change up the offensive style of plays, he don't mix Tim Kelly, doesn't mix the play caller though, because you really think that you gonna beat a team that put up 300 yards against the New England Patriots last week, and then in New England with Tim Kelly, he ended up getting too consistent, too stubborn with the with the play calling, and then New England came right back from behind and beat you. So you better hope that not to say better hope, because these players who signed to a 1 year deal, 2 year deal, I don't see them resigning a new contract next year, because Andre Ellington, Andre Robertson should be gone. David Johnson should be gone. I don't like him. Who else should be gone? Either much. Who else I think should be gone? Either much should be gone. Either much. I can't. Let me think of this dude's name. Tyron Taylor. He should be gone. He don't. I think they gonna have to throw money at him. Money. Money at him for him to stay here. Lou, if Nick Casario probably gonna look at these quarterbacks in the draft and pass up on Spencer Rattler, Malik Wilkins, Sam Howell, Matt Corral. He is gonna pass on these quarterbacks that he is not in love with. So anyway, let's get into AEW. But when you see a discount on LASIK, you're skeptical. That's because we've been trained to think that anything that makes your life better has to be expensive. Because let's get into that though. It's just not true. Because first we're going to talk about Top Dollar, because I heard Top Dollar had put out a brand new record out, because Hit Row, they supposed to be making their way to the to Smackdown next week. So it's supposed to be him, Ashley Adonis, Isaiah Swerve, and Brandon Brayton, B-Fab. And I had talked to Queen Lay. She had said to me she can't wrestle. She don't make. I would have told her she don't need to wrestle, because she just can't. How she gonna fit in with Bianca Belair? How she gonna fit in with Charlotte? How she's gonna fit in with Becky Lynch, Bayley when she get back to next year and around come 22, right after WrestleMania? How are she going to fit in with Tony Storm? How are she going to fit in with Sasha Banks? And how she going to fit in with Xia Li? How she going to fit in with those these top stars in the women's division? And that means you setting this woman up, this girl up, to be a failure. That's what you are either much doing, and I don't want to see that. But B-Fab, though, she's good on the microphone. She has the skill set to be a mouthpiece of the Hit Row, and she is good at that. But either much like when they was in NXT, they should have just stayed in NXT for the next 2 years. Then you call them up to the WWE main roster. So you have Top Dollar either much talking about either much goes at Roman Reigns, shoots at CM Punk, and then either much say you either much know that. And then Roman Reigns.
After the Saturday game, you like to get rolling pictures. Man, you better have a suit of armor on, man, because it is brutal facing these lineups. All right, MC, what you got? You're in Boston.
Roman Reigns shoots at
Weather's great. Weather's going to be fantastic here all week. It is a little bit on the cooler side at the moment right now. Right now it is 50 degrees. High is 61 today. It's going to get down to 45 tonight, 63.
Because I'm looking at this shit like
Wednesday and Thursday is actually going to be 72. Or Wednesday and Thursday are going to be 72. Lows.
Girls, anyway, don't see. Because I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that comment.
It was windy yesterday. I don't know how windy it's going to be today. It was interesting getting in there yesterday. By the way, I'll leave it at that.
I just want to go to the casket flag behind the monster.
I'm just glad. Look, I'm just happy to be here. We were about 500 feet from being on the ground, and you kind of pulled the plane back up. And I'm like, oh no.
Roman Reigns takes shot at CM Punk. And either much WWE Universal Champ Roman Reigns talks about a possible future match with AEW CM Punk. Reigns getting seen to King Khan in Steinem that Punk is a past in his primes. So I had not going to eventually me at all he ordered. Now I have really seen a field match, seen a chip or two into me and step on two has been lost. Then also he got his whooping in the UFC. I don't think anybody really believed someone is 2,000 pounds sinking with no exposed bones in their body could ever really do anything to me, and said Roman Reigns. The head of the table continued by saying that he is light athletic. Lip athletic and won't on to describe that height and weight defensively between himself and Punk. He future and that he could take out their entering AEW roster if he wants. So I mean, when it come down to it, throwing him in a pretty much the rest of that roster on the club, no problem. That they just little brother, said Roman. They love him. He's turning it around. He's getting players. They're gonna make that point. Either much somebody with kind-hearted with Roman Reigns. I mean, not say kind-hearted, but CM Punk he can wrestle a little bit. CM Punk can wrestle his ass off in AEW because I seen him beat Darby Allin at Full Gear. I seen him beat him. So either much you can't look. CM Punk been the longest WWE champion. He been in the ring with Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho. He been in the ring with John Cena. He been in the ring with Mark Henry. He been in the ring with Sheamus. He been in the ring with The Undertaker. He has been in the ring with The Rock. And back at the Royal Rumble in 2013 and at the Elimination Chamber when The Rock beat his ass twice for that WWE Championship. And then he the much had CM Punk ended up Look, if CM Punk would have stayed in WWE, we probably would have had CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 2014 if he did live, because Daniel Bryan probably would not even much main evented of WrestleMania. So Daniel Bryan would have been have to keep chasing for a couple of few months to get that WWE championship, and either might beat CM Punk in the next probably at a next pay-per-view. So if he didn't live, because either much CM Punk been off of TV for the past several weeks. I seen him in UFC colliding, but either much you hear a Stu person that who is so jealous of you, want to take shot at you on Instagram. The media want to take shot at you on Twitter, want to take shots at you in the media and all that other crap. That CM Punk said about shooting at Daniel Bryan and shooting at Roman Reigns. And I was sitting there, I was looking at that. And then we get the Top Dollar. He put an album out, and you know who I'm talking about, right? The member of Hit Row, AJ Francis. So we either much had AJ Francis. Let me see what and WWE and Top Dollar dismisses, because I'm looking at it on Beach Report. It said WWE Top Dollar dropped this song seen aiming at AEW Young Bucks. Top Dollar, who is a part of the Hit Row statement, WWE released a diss track Friday that seemed to be disruptive towards AEW tag team the Young Bucks to rap with labels by the Top Dollar as a sneaker diss in referring to a tweet post Wednesday that caused questions a stir. And I'm looking at it in the tweet. Top Dollar write the same fans' favorite wrestlers wear sneakers on camera to seem cool and help despite not really wearing them in a real life. In some, your favorite wrestlers are wearing sneakers on camera to seem cool, hip, but in real life, they rock band and ASICS exclusive, but all not ready for that controversy. So, seeing the Young Bucks offering wrestling in experience experience parts of Jordan, it was instated asking that the Top Dollar was talking about them. Because according to WrestlingInc.com, Mark Middleton of the Young Bucks responsible by changing their tweets blog to spend more on sneakers in September that the internet NXT roster did. They bar was looking in interference to the fact that the Top Dollar and Hit Row were on NXT all through the reasoning got up to the main roster on Smackdown as a part of the WWE draft. In his diss track, Top Dollar moderator that monitoring that he trending all day on Twitter as a result on the beef with the Young Bucks. He also suggested that Nick and Mark Jackson are on 5.8 in the real life, where there is no really question that Top Dollar Rapper was directed toward the Young Bucks. The fact that he used a beat from Rap Young Bucks from the track like Erase and Doubt. The Young Bucks have long been considered amongst the best tag team in the world by many wrestling fans, where Hit Row is still a new act, having been together for less than a year. Top Dollar and Isaiah Swerve Scott, Ashanti, their Adonis, and B Fab having waste any time in making waves. However, under his real name, AJ Francis, Top Dollar was proven a star football player at the University of Maryland and went on to spend time in the NFL, the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Washington football team. Before debuting on NXT, he made the precinct field with WWE by beginning on of the main character on the AE show, WWE Most Wanted Chester as well. New Top Dollar is part of an up and coming stable on WWE main roster, and he already has people talking.
Invasive? I said, absolutely not, because he walked me through it. And in less than 10 minutes, I was off the table, and within 2 to 3 days, was seeing better than I had since my prime. And I felt like I'm in my prime now with my vision safer.
Yep, and
less irritating, carrying around glasses or contacts. I hate contact. I don't want to wear them. The doctor went to the same people. Now, he's an expert. He's been doing this for a long time, folks. He's your neighbor. You see him at church. You see him at the grocery store.
Okay, we either much you see, I didn't see the match on Saturday. I had to go back on YouTube and watch it. So below are quick results from the special live episode of AEW Dynamite on TNT that aired live on Saturday night from Miami, Florida. Malachi Black defend Dante Martin by pinfall. I am liking what AEW is doing with Malachi Black. He is starting to impress me a lot. He beat Cody Rhodes twice, and then Cody Rhodes either much get on a podcast and either much talk about that he ain't either much never going heel. And I mean, like, bro, AEW World Tag Team Championship match, the Lucha Brothers have check out Texas Direct Auto. Texas Direct believes in every car that they sell. They do multiple inspections and put the time and money into making sure that each car is in great working order. Drop by Texas Direct Auto on Highway 59 in Stafford anytime, Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Because I'm looking at this. TexasDirectAuto.com. Adam Wexler here, and just in time for football season, the Bud Light NFL Houston Texans 16-ounce aluminum and 12-ounce glass bottles are back. This NFL season, enjoy an ice cold Bud Light with the H-Town rally cry whenever you are cheering on our hometown team. This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quit and the game in a tie. The type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks. So a friend told me about Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and his exact words were, "It changed my life. I used to spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to remove tomato sauce from inside our microwave and soap scum off the bathtub. It's like seriously magic, and my secret weapon for cleaning the kitchen, bathroom, doors, and walls, and even keeping my sneakers clean. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, greatest invention ever." Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, the unicorn of clean. Mm-hmm. There aren't a whole lot of better months to ride a motorcycle or an ATV in this state than October, and we are right smack into October. If you haven't got a new motorcycle, you haven't got a new ATV, check out Stubb Cycles on Telephone Road, just north of the South Loop. There you will find a good selection of both
along with a generous selection of pre-owned machines as well. Get on the open road or off the beaten path.
You belong to the city. It's a man of the night.
Your life, your hopes, your passions. These things are none of our business. Your deodorant rash, your favorite cheese, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m. That's really none of our business. Because your life is private. And unlike other tech companies, we think your internet should be too. Oh, what kind of dog is that? That's none of our business either. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Hey, sports fans, we all miss the cheers, and the touchdowns. The excitement of the last second field goals in the heart of it. Football season's finally here, and before you know it, you will be able to head to Loubert's Lake Charles to place your bets.
Because you know, because let me find these results.
Sportsbook at Loubert's Lake Charles. So get ready for all the fast-paced action that sports betting will bring at Loubert's Lake Charles. Must be 21 years of age or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Legacy Ford in Rosenberg is taking orders right now. Get priority pricing with the Legacy Ford Lifetime Powertrain Warranty at LegacyFordTX.com. Lock in your trade-in value or get a cash appraisal in less than 15 minutes. Call 281-342-5611. That's 281-342-5611. Shop, click, save 24/7 at LegacyFordTX.com. Get your order in for a new Ford with Legacy Ford. Legacy Ford, family owned and operated, building our legacy, one customer at a time. You can buy Rockets gear on it, or you can hear us on it. That's amazing. Listen live for free on any smart device. Just say, hey Google, play sports.com and iHeartRadio. You're back. This is the Sean Salisbury Show. Get back at it.
Sports Talk 790, joined now by Astros broadcaster Steve Sparks here on 790 Sean Salisbury Show. Well, Steve, I would
I said, dude, why y'all don't put the whole damn full card on here? And I hate when y'all do that.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Doing good. You're in Boston, getting ready for 3 games in Fenway Park, and
Because I really hate when y'all do that.
I better go to the airport.
I really do.
Run the Boston Marathon last year. There you go, 26.2 in mid-college game. But hey, this is amazing. But if you're a pitcher, Steve, a starting pitcher, I know we want him to do well, but to get through these lineups 2 and 3 and 4 times, it feels almost like an impossibility, right? It just does, the way they're swinging.
Yeah, it feels like that. I mean, both teams are dangerous and potent all the way through the lineup. There's a lot of hot hitters right now. And we don't have to mention all the names, but there's a lot of guys that are swinging the bat as well as they ever have. And it makes it very difficult. I think right now the Astros' whole goal is to be
Okay.
here in Boston in order to force Jerry back to Houston.
Either much,
that's great.
Jim Ross and Tony Giovanni is on his exclusive weather broadcast team for special guest with CM Punk. You had Dante Martin with Leo Rudd versus Mannequin Black. Mannequin Black is a special talent, and said CM Punk he had undefeated since his arrival in AEW at Excalibur. And then the begin with a beautiful chin wrestling squash. Dante launches off the bottom row with a shotgun drop kick to Black. Continue with a stiff Black back elbow to Dante. Dante attempted a springboard, but Mannequin Black continued with a power bomb. Black applies a single leg crab, but Dante managed to chew to the bottom row to force the ref break. Dante went for a pump kick, but Black counters with a heel trip. Black locked on a knee bar, but Dante figure out with a few kicks to a Black face. But Dante suspicious Black with a receiving Hurricane Corona that a crazy note. CM Punk and Dante tried a double team jump moonsault, but Black moves out of the way and Dante loaded on his feet. Dante rocked Black with a kick to the back of Black head. Manakar Black fired back with a moderate, a higher roundhouse kick, and then a German suplex right near fall on Dante Martin. This is awesome, and chanted the fans. Manakar Black pulls Dante up on the turnbuckle and Pep helps. Heights. Looking for a superplex, but Dante continued with a super hurricane corona off the top rope. Dante tweaking his knee on the leading Dante jumping off the top rope, but he paid the price as Malachi Black connected with the back head heel kick. Was more than it changed for Black to pin Dante. Great effect by Martin. Great results by Malachi Black, said Jim Ross. After the match, as Malachi Black walked to the back, he turns his head and noted at Dante Martin. And then either much Malachi Black, I really like what they doing with Malachi Black because he is starting to impress me because he beat Cody Rhodes twice, because I hope they don't get another match with Cody Rhodes, because I don't want Cody Rhodes to beat him, because if he beat him, then that Cody Rhodes is gonna be one, because that means that Malachi Black is gonna give Cody Rhodes back his win back. So backstage, Tony Schiavone interviewed Jessica Express, the Young Bucks, and AEW champion Kenny Omega and Adam Cole. The Super Elite ambushed Jessica Express with a super beatdown, and they got beef with the All Elite. So after last night, absolutely at the hands of the American top team, the Inner Circle reunited in a regroup in the ring. Diamond Guard Chris Jericho and TNT champion Spring Guard Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager Santino Ortiz were back. Santo Brain to speak on the microphone when Dan Lambert, then a Man of the Year in a American top team, interrupted Jericho, asking if Paige Vincent was obedience with him and if she was going to try to slide into his DM. All the jokes are done through you see before you then reuniting in a circle here in Miami tonight. We are ready 5-on-5. We want in a circle against a American top team and the Man of the Year in, said Jericho. We have bigger plans. The Man of the Year have their eyes on Go. Well, Sammy stepped up and agreed to our team. Tell you our teams next week, said Dan Lambert. Chris Jericho, your brain may be a little foggy after other need for morbidly last night, but don't forget pinning the GOAT not once but twice, and said Scorpio Sky. And I am the TNT champion. I am the squash guard. I am going to kick all of y'all your asses. Next week, Sammy said Guevara in an AA tag team match. But I think Sammy Guevara, he versus Scorpio Sky, because I think he's going to have a long title run in AEW, because I don't see him going up at like a CM Punk, David Boy Alley in a rematch with Mauro Ranallo, and then going up against MJF, going up against Wallow, going up against Scott Dawson, Scott Dollinger, and Dash Wallinger, and going up against the Pinnacles, and then either much build him up to either much be a stronger babyface TNT champion. I don't see him going to be holding on to that title 7 months. I would like to see Scorpio Sky get a shot at that title, because if he do, he are going to have to go up against Chris Jericho, Jack Hager, Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho, Jack Hager, David Boy Allen. I don't have a problem with him going up against Sting. I don't have a problem of him going up against Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Jungle Boy, Christian Cage, either much Frankie Kazarian and Bobby Fish, who just got over there to AEW, and Sammy Guevara just beated him. I don't have a problem with him going up against him. That means he can get built up as a top heel in AEW, is the champion, into a stronger babyface can come in and beat him and take the belt off of Scorpio Sky. You see, don't you see what I'm going from here? And neither much that what I'm looking at is I want to see what they're going to do next week, because I see that team that Dan Lambert team is going to get involved and try to screw and call Sammy Guevara the TNT champion, and I'm hoping we get a 5-on-5 match at Full of Gear. I don't think it's next week. I don't think they talk. I hope we get this match at Full Gear. I'm hoping we do. And we get an AAA and A World Tag Team Championship, the Lucha Bros Pentacles, and Zero Mortar Ray Flex with Alistair Abrahantes Abrahamsons versus Andrade and Duro. Mag's team lost a super raising. I've never seen those guys complete in a Mexico Excalibur of lost super ratings. That clear FTR. This is RIDICULOUS Radicals, says CM Punk. Super Rays, the number one, tried to take off the mask of Ray Flex, but Flex rolled him up. The Lucha Brothers tried to remove the mask off the lost Super Rainer. The mask come off, and lost Super Rainer were received to be Dex Haywood and Crash Wilder and FTR. Rex Flex jumped off the brothers' shoulders with a drop kick to both members of FTR Pinnacle, Excalibur, Marlboro, rocketing off the top rope and crashing down onto FTR in a top can hero, and a hang pinnacle from the Lucha Brothers take out FTR on the outside of the ring. The Lucha Brothers just dismantled FTR, said Excalibur. Excuse me. Rex Flex blasting Dex the AX with a kick to the face. Chilla Blanchard runs out in disrupt and Arbari Elvis was each time for FTR to use one of the AA Tag Team Championship belts against Ray Flex and then FTR pending Flex and becoming the new AA Tag Team Champion. I mean, because they won the titles. I mean, look, you don't even much have. I mean, I hate to say AEW has so much talent over there. I mean, over there because they are so good at creating. They are so good at feeding off the energy, the fans, the energy. They so good at feeding off the fans. And AEW is just a too boring company. And then they care, they understand about wrestling over there in AEW. And I'm enjoying it so far. But when you give Queen Layla, she don't watch AEW. She watch WWE, the same repeat matches week after week on Monday Night Raw, and the women's division need to be fixed. The tag team division need to be fixed. WWE is not trying to concentrate of building up WWE new stars in the company. They just either don't know how to book heels, don't know how to book babyface correctly. And Tony Schiavone interviewed Dante Martin and Leo Rush. Said that Dante need to start listening to his aggravate, and from this point following, Dante Martin would have a new tag team partner himself and Leo Rush. Okay, we see where this go from here. Coming up next week, what they gonna do with those two in this booking. John Moxley versus Wallow Yake with Fresh Squad Orange Cassidy. Moxley wasted no time nailing Yuck with a vessel. Lyra Morrow was laying in the ring hands. Moxley went right for the pedigree strap and then pinned in Wallow Yake. Orange Cassidy entered the ring and looked on with concussion at Willow. Yet was seeing stars after that pedigree style. Celine Debbie was backstage with Tony Constantine. Was Tony asked DB about her rent attitude change. It was only a matter of time before I had a drag his division to my level, said Hushkin. Shada jumped onto Darby and they began brawling. I haven't seen her on TV in a while, but they need to do more with her. The Dog Order, Evil, Alistair Reno and John Solomon versus Super Kill, Adam Cole, Bebe, and the Young Bucks, and Matt and Nick Jackson with Brandon Cutter and Don Call. The Super Kill hit the Dark Order from behind before the bell rang. The Isolation, John Silver on the ramp, they were looking for the assist power bomb, but Soren received. It was a Rainer back in the ring. Dark Order using the combined offense on the super kick. It's also looked like they got a boost of compression with Adam Page return to AEW and said CM Punk. And John Solomon John Solomon chained Nick Jackson with on a uppercut, breathing. The chin. John Solomon jumped off the apron with a cannonball to Adam Cole, and Alistair Raymond tried for the top suicide, but Cole super kicked him. The super kick in the liver set on the tornado mat, so Excalibur, the Young Bucks working over John Solomon, sending him into the waiting booth of Adam Cole. Cole in um, ISO John Solomon, dropping him with a neck breaker after Nick Jackson's sneakers was yanked off of Evil, pull out of a shock and using the mandible claws on Nick Jackson. The Dark Order following up with a amazing offense securing on Adam Cole, Reno, and Cole exchange pumps, kicking in the raining, popping Cole with a advancing knee strikes, but then the Bucks hit the super kick on Reno. Cole followed up with the Pammy City Sunrise, the super kill, while for Reno with a triple BET Tiggery. Cole finished off Reno after running knee strikes and then pinning Reno. And we had Jungle Boy ran out to the ring and the super kick rethreaded. Jungle Boy hit a home run in Brandon Cutler with a steel chair. The super kick left Cutler in the ring. And Theory is showing. Like with Adam Cole though, him join Elite, he is working well with Nick Jackson and Malik Jackson, and with the Elite, he is the one probably. And when Kenny Omega dropped that AEW World Heavyweight Championship against Adam Page, he is gonna be the one that kick Kenny Omega out of the Elite. He can take the Young Bucks and Kyle Anderson and Doc Gallows up under his wing and teach them how to be his mentor. Is a heel. He's getting booked it better. Adam Cole, I'm glad he got the hell out of WWE, because Vince McMahon was not gonna let Adam Cole use his Twitch that he is making money off of, and you can have him come up to the main roster. And Adam Cole was not gonna get pushed it very well with up under Vince McMahon. So I'm glad that, because I like to see Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Jack Hager, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Page. I like to see him versus Malachi Black, Cody Rhodes. I would like to see him. I like to see him get built up as a heel, like they did with Kenny Omega, but I'm not ready for him to win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship right now. And we get to this footage was showing Arn Anderson drop off Cody to the road. Cody Rhodes, Wrestling Academy, Lee Johnson, Brock Anderson, and others tried to knock Cody back to hush reality and put his force back on the ring. Malachi Black has it coming. Arn say to Cody, you see, I said that I don't want to see the match with Cody and Adam Cole. You see, Cody done lost to him twice in a row. That those two, there's seen that AEW is going to keep on continue with these storylines with AEW Mankind Black, and Cody is going to keep fighting and scratching and clawing until he get his win back against Mankind Black. And if he lose to him, that means he got to move on to a next opponent, and Cody Rhodes have to move on to somebody else. And we get MJF coming out to the ring. MJF say he was here for his match against Dave Bradley. You know how I know there is not a match because Wallow is not with him, said CM Punk. You know, showing like a gateless crowd and guess I don't break your mortal, Darby, said MJF. MJF pretended to be shocked that Deborah Alley was attacking the parking lot last week. MJF called for Wallow, and Wallow bought real Bryce Reed must bag to the ring. MJF told the ref to count to 10, and if Darby isn't out to the ring by 10 count, MJF should be declared the winner. The light in the arena went out and it begins to show in Miami. Stain come the rain. MJF Sullivan Wallow in Stain cracks Wallow in the ring with his baseball bat. MJF runs out of the ring. Look, MJF versus Stain. I would like to see MJF versus Stain. I would like to see that because the fans is just booing the shit out of MJF louder. Either much they just drain his ass all the way up and down the drain because they know he capable of doing. He has the attitude of doing it, and they know he don't mind. He is gonna take out his frustration on his opponent and bury them. And MJF really don't give a damn. Because he really think he's better than anybody on the main roster, and he's not. And you know that the AEW World Heavyweight Champion is gonna be on the but right now it's gonna be a couple months so he get to that AEW World Heavyweight Championship. You know that because look what they doing with Adam Hangman Page. They are building him. I mean, not building him, but he ain't won the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at full gear. Not as yet. But after I seen with Kenny Omega, I mean, he done beat it Christian, beat it Orange Cassidy, he done beat it Orange Cassidy and Pac, he done beat it Christian Cage, he done beat it John Moxley, he has done beat it he done beat John Moxley in a DQ match because they built him up as a heavyweight AEW World Heavyweight champion, as a top heel in the company, and then either much and if I would be shocked that if Adam Hangman Page does not win that AEW World Heavyweight Championship because he just got back from a birth of his child. And then if we don't, and I think Daniel Bryan could be the one that take the AEW World Heavyweight Championship off of Kenny Omega because he won a shot at that AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Hangman Page don't win the AEW Championship. I wouldn't be. Till we get to Bryan Danielson could be the one that beat him. But if it is though, I want to see him face Hobby. I want to see him face Hobby. I want to see him face either much Hobby, Mick Jackson, Adam Nick I want to see him face Adam Cole. I want to see him face Hobby. I want to see him in case Malachi Black, Hobby, Malachi Black, Lance Archer. I want to see Brian Danielson either much face Eddie Kingston. I want to see him face Morrow, Scorpio Sky. I want to see Daniel Bryan either much face Ethan Page and Gogo. I want to see him get built up as a stronger babyface in AEW, because I know that Daniel Bryan though. That's the reason why he left WWE, because he was so much protected by, Vince McMahon. He wanted to leave the company and wanted to work with young superstars in AEW and want to go to you or Japan and work with them. I don't much blame him. So he can put people over in the company. And if Daniel Bryan was on SmackDown, whoever he was feuding with, he would get over booked it in those matches. So with Bryan Danielson though, if AEW decided not to take the title coming up at full gear, that means that Bryan Danielson is going to be the one that take it off of him. Because like I'm just saying, that's my opinion. I would like to see him go up against top heels like MJF, like Hobby, Powerhouse Hobby, MJF. I like to see him go up against Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page. I like to see him go up against Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, Adam Cole, Mark Jackson. I like to see him. I don't mind him going up against Adam Cole, CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Jack Hager, Wallow, Adam Page, either much all those talented on that roster. That Daniel Bryan is gonna have to prove me everything to be an AEW World Heavyweight Championship for a couple of 7 months. And Tony Giovanni is backstage with Anna J. Dr. Britt Baker interrupted the interview. Baker calls the Dark Order losers, and Jay heard each surge the AEW Women's World Championship. Dr. Britt Baker.
He missed a horrible throw from Pick. He laid the ball on the ground a couple times because he tried to make too many plays.
Dr. Big Breaker called them losers.
Patriots hung in there against the Cowboys. Mac Jones
Hold up, right.
did a nice job. They didn't have many opportunities. The Cowboys were just devastating offensively. And Johnny on the spot played with Diggs. There's about 18 in the league, but the truth is the AFC is starting to look better.
Yeah, I had to burp, so. Because Dr. Britt Baker is the one that beat it. You see, she beat it now. We seen her beat it Nyla DeRosa. We see her beat it Ruby Soho. We see her beat it Starks. We seen her beat it Starks. We seen her beat it Nyla Rose. We seen her beat it Starks. We seen her beat it Hashiki. We seen her beat it Nyla Rose. We seen her beat it Shark. We seen her beat it Shishuki. We already seen her beat it Ruby Soho. We already seen Dr. Britt Baker. You see, with her versus Jay Carter, Jay Carter ain't winning at AEW right now. Because I know she been winning in squash matches and she's still undefeated. And if you put Britt Baker up against Jay Kroger, that means that she is not winning. Dr. Britt Baker is going to beat her until we get to they set this matchup against Thunder Rosa. She should be the one that taking AEW World Heavyweight Championship from her. But everybody else though is gonna be losing to her because right now at Full Gear, Jay Kroger versus uh her for that AEW championship. To me, this match doesn't excite me, not even much one bit up under my skin. So we see Carrie Carrie Hogan versus the Super Bad Girls Pinlip Ford with the Bunny. Pinlip Ford used an arm drag on Kyrie hanging forward, missing a boot to Hager. Hogan in the corner. Pinlip used a rain bulldog on Kyrie into the turnbuckle. That was embroidered, said CM Punk. Kyrie Hager popped Pinlip onto the top turnbuckle. Hogan superplex Pilot to the mat. Ford and Hagen began chopping one other with Hogan getting the uppercut head. She pushed back Pinlip with a shotgun drop kick and then a side drop kick for a near fall on Pinlip. Ford used a collar off the rope onto Hogan. Ford ranches back with the monologue and made Hogan tap. So that match was good, but Ruby Soho spinning down to the ring for some retribution on Pinlip Ford for the last night. Ruby hurriedly forward onto the ramp. The bunny come out to help Pinlip off the ground. Ruby challenged both of them to get into the ring. But this match is going to be happening next week on AEW Dynamite between those three. Because the way how Ruby Soho, you see, when she was in WWE, they never pushed her into a single star. Not against the Charlottes, the Sasha Banks, the Bianca Belair, the Rhea Ripley, the Mia Yim, the Tony Storm, you said Raquel. I mean, either much against the Mandy Rose, either much against the Charlins, the Becky Lynch, and the Bellies. They never will push her to the top star in the women's division to build her up as WWE or championship in the company, and WWE creators did not even much know what to do with her. So they end up releasing her. So with the Ruby Ride, Ruby Ride character, I didn't like her character when she was in WWE. They never was gonna bring excitement with her gimmick, but when she had Leah Morgan and Sarah Logan, they all three of them they worked it well together. But WWE, they never try to push those. They never try to put the belts on them at WrestleMania. And WWE looked at them as a failure. They seen them as a mid card in the WWE, and then they turned around and they broke up the Riot Squad because Sarah Logan had left the company when she got injured in the match with Shayna Baszler. And then they broke her and Leah Morgan up as a tag team when Ruby Riott had got released it. So what they do in Ruby Ride, I like the way how they giving her a push in AEW with that new gimmick, Ruby Soho. I am enjoying that character, and I like to see her a little bit more.
I would give the Chargers. I think
And in Tony Schiavone interviewed Hangman Adam Page in the ring on November the 13th. Is your chance to become the AEW World Champion at Full Gear against Kenny Omega and Schiavone. We made friends, and I left the ring of honor. In New Japan, I believe we could change the world, but I think it's changed us. I told you guys I do be the first AEW World Champion. I last to Jericho. I lost to Pac, and then it started to feel like I lost a lot more and lost my confidence. I lost my friends, and truly, for it feels like I lost myself. The one thing I didn't lose with this, people will chant cowboy shit each week. That was very real to me. Cowboy shit was about me making new friends and putting my neck on the line for those friends. When you fall off, you get back on and keep riding to me. That is cowboy shit. I am not the fortune teller. I am not going to predict how Full Gear will end for me. I think you all believe in me, and for the first time in my life, I do too. At Full Gear, I will give you my heart, my soul, my blood, and my sweetness. And I am 100% sure at Full Gear I will give you a cowboy shit, said Hangman Adam Page. We see. We will see what's going to happen coming up on November the 5th. We will find out and see. The main event time, the American Dragon by Danielson versus the Informer Bobby Fish. First begin in a assault on Danielson with kicks in a forearm. Mary Tail strikes Daniel Riley back and stumping on the back of Fish leg. Fish got to his feet and used his educated feet on American Dragon. Back in the ring, Fish working over Danielson leg and knee. Bobby Fish nearly discapitated Danielson with a sideline lunge. Fish locking in a half-crab submission. Brian Danielson connected with a great ankle lock and then a release German suplex. Danielson ran Fish leg with a true dragon screw. He say destroying Fish basic, said Jim Ross. Fish started hot, but it a hard piece to mountain, repealed CM Punk. Fish captured a kick from Danielson and transformed with a backdrop. Fish hosting Danielson onto the top turnbuckle. Fish nearly Danielson with a advanced lunge. Farrakhan a round and then Transcend. Transined Transcend into knee bars. Danielson grabbing a knee bar on his own and then beginning to hammer down on the face of Finish with his heel. Danielson locked it, the heel hook and Finish tapping. Danielson hit back with a top suicide on Fish. Danielson tries to begin Fish back into the ring, but Fish used a downward strikes on Danielson. American Dragon was taken off his feet the hard way as Fish swiped Danielson leg off the ring apron.
Come visit DiscountTackle.com today. DiscountTackle.com is the place to find baits and gear for saltwater or freshwater fishing. And now you can save big on our end of the season sale with discounts up to 50% off. Shop our selection of top brands like Seaman, featuring Sunday Baits, Chickhead, Dead Ring, Jackhammer, and Chatterbaits. All with fast free shipping on orders over $59. For more info, go online to DiscountTackle.com. That's DiscountTackle.com.
Okay, wait a minute. Can I get that?
You know what that means? It's time to grab a Dos Equis with its balanced composition and its smooth, clean finish. It is the best beer to pair with a good game. And you can grab one with me, Ross Villarreal's The Matt Thomas Show hits the road again, this time to the big city Cinco Ranch location. We're going to have some wings, some good times, and some ice cold Dos Equis. So come on down to the big city wings Cinco Ranch location off of Westheimer and the Grand Parkway. Dos Equis, a proud sponsor of college football. Get a dose. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2021. Imported by Spaces Inc. on display, Plains, New York.
And yeah, because I seen this.
There's no limit to what you can crochet.
I mean this match with
Really could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with.
Brian Danielson.
There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams.
I mean, it was a good match, but
Equal housing lender member FDIC.
What is up, Houston? Are you looking to sell your car? Do you want to know what your car is worth? Well, you're in luck. Because Texas Direct Auto is buying. Their inventory is growing, which means they want to buy your car. Visit one of their 8 sell us your car locations for no obligation, fast, easy appraisal. Texas Direct buys all makes and models, 80 miles, even if the car isn't paid off, so you have nothing to lose. And their expert car buyers are going to give you an instant price for your car on the spot. Come by Texas Direct Auto on Highway 59 in Stafford anytime Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. or visit them at TexasDirectAuto.com.
I'm Colleen Wolf from Thursday Football and Good Morning Football Weekend, and I'm Ricky Hollywood from around the NFL and the broadcast. On our new podcast, Split Ends, Ricky and I will be coming to you every week to talk about all the important and unimportant storylines in the football world.
it was a good match. But
We'll break down games,
wait a minute. Let me see
whatever it takes to cover the ins and outs of the NFL world.
because I'm so good at this. But
You're listening to Sean Salisbury on Sports Talk 790. Lions footballers, how about the performance? Your home for Houston Astros baseball.
Business is about to change everything. So get to the business. Security helps protect everything.
I'll ask you guys to get to your call 732-125-790. And then you can discuss.
Absolutely.
I watched the Texans yesterday, and it's a positive way to be. The undisciplined and wear global approach.
oh yeah, Brian Danielson liked him into the heel hook, but he advanced it. So yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's pathetic. And
So that was it. That was
Where are they
it. So
going to win?
they're going to have to get lucky and hope the other team. No, I'll tell you where they're going to win. When the other team beats themselves, Jacksonville plays them again. And Jacksonville's capable of beating them in Jacksonville. That's the chance they have.
I mean, they're so
oh yeah, Daniel Bryan beat it him.
But apparently they're not well coached discipline-wise. So when I say, I mean, you start to look at, there's good coaches, but when your best player and Brandon Cooks comes out and says, well, we haven't been disciplined since week 1. Now, no surprise. So what does that tell you? Either players don't care or the coaching staff doesn't.
And so let's get into
I know I'm sitting here on the radio.
hey, let me get back.
Been around it long enough. I'm just telling you, you're not going to win. You're not long for the job as a player or coach if this keeps up. For me, if you are going to continue to be undisciplined, I know then I'll start taking guys off the practice squad list. And if I'm going to lose, I'll lose with guys that are lined up right. they're at least making a play. If it's going to be on this one, say if they've had a great week of practice prep.
And let's get in. I'm done talking about AEW Dynamite, and then after that, we're going to talk about Smackdown. So, AEW Rampage, take Cargo with Anna Jay versus Santana Garnett. Santana used to beat a arm drag to take Terry down, but try block with a third attempt. Carton rolled around with a wrist lock and then a ankle lock, almost a break. Bariation Vorcade off a calf silencer. Instead, Excalibur tries to kick Santino in the face for a near fall. Santino rocket to with a forearm and followed up with a back elbow in the corner. Santino kicks ties in the STERUM Santimo, but then at a pump kick from Tail, TYY, Tail. So mortal rating said Taz nearly Santana with a 4-round pump kick. She pinning Santana after the DD. Tail gets competition good fight, but not each to tap till Cardin said Taz. Next, Bobby Fish versus Lee Morrow. Lee Morrow. Lee trips up Bobby Fish and want to work over Fish elbow. He hit Fish with a crossbody for a near fall. Bobby Fish used a side ladder for a one corner count. One lead. There was the leaning chant in the area. Bobby knocking the wind out of Lee with a senton. Fish hits a snap superplex for a near fall. Morriarty, Morrow, his heart said Taz. Fish applies a key lock on Lee. They traded strikes in Lee. Strikes in Lee. Then Lee went back to attack Fish elbow. Lee blasted out and jump stuff from the racing onto Bobby Fish. Lee connected with body shots, but then finished fire back with a big time roundhouse and backdraw super for a 2 count on Lee. This is great back in 4 consistent, said Excalibur. Bobby Fish weakened Lee with a explosive suplex onto the rope finish. Fish finish of Lee with the knockout on a shot roundhouse kicking pending Lee. Bobby Fish scored his first inside the AEW ring here tonight, said Excalibur. That was a good match, but Bobby Fish, though, after he was the member of Undisputed, he been with Roderick Strong, Adam Cole. Now he's over there in AEW. He been with Roderick Strong because I remember they was the one carried it NXT brand as tag team champions over there in NXT. Because they been against American Apple, NXT over there on that black and gold brand, and then they was never gonna come up to the main roster and feud with the New Day, and feud with the Hit Row, the feud with the Usos, and feud. It ain't that the Street Profits and look, you need more tag team on that roster. Who you need. And Undisputed Era, they could have did something like that with the New Day. And Adam Cole would have been shining on the main roster. He would have been going up against a Roman Reigns, a Seth Rollins, Big E, a Roman Reigns, a Seth Rollins, a Karrion Kross, a Big E. He would have been going up against The Miz, against who else I can name? Who else can I name on that roster? He would have been going up against Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black. He would have been going up against when he was in the WWE. He would have been going up against Bobby Ashley, Matt Riddle, Randy Orton, John Cena. Adam Cole would have been a WWE champion who would have been main event WrestleMania. And he know he never was gonna get that push. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson versus Mauro Shashinsky. Tony Khan once again kicked down the door for Biden door, said Excalibur. Putting this match together, ensuing ripping task. There was a start down between those two pro wrestlers before the match began. They tried up a Sink S-U-Z-U-K-I Sinky brought Danielson to his knees, dragged Pop up and began working on the joint of Sinky. These wrestlers cheated the fans. Danielson working for a roll-up knee bar and Sinky immediately went for the rope, showing great ring awareness. Danielson kicked to the outside of Sasinki thin, Sasinki smiling and inviting Danielson to down into against Sinky got to his feet. And he and Danielson tried to chop and kick a forearm. Both those men are battling test and we witnessing a battle said task. Danielson uses a hammer and a voided strikes to Sinky. The action spill outside the ring and Sinky Caliber and Danielson with a strike punch to the head. Sinky Congressy Danielson to kick him, so Danielson obvious Danielson will kick all day and said Taz. Brian applies the catering motoring, but Sinky rolls with Danielson transstance into a pin position, but Sinky escaped. Brian went back on the offense with kicks to Sinky in the corner. Sinky whipping Brian out of the corner and then waffles him with kicks. Sinky almost like in the armbar, but Danielson got the ropes break with his feet before Sinky could fully sit out with a Sinky turn his attempted to the ref and walk right by it. A label lock from Brian. Sinky rolls into the ropes for the ring. And then it's a well chop. The fans in Houston. There was a piece change of forearm Sinky transferring to the sleep, but Brian rolls out. Sinky attempted breaking style suplex, but Brian escaped. Then exchange strikes with a Bruce knee strikes and Brian pinning Sinky. I mean, that was a good match between those two. So, what a piece of history we just witnessed adding Ricky Starks on a Rampage on TNT. CM Punk versus Matt Strickland. Punk used a side headlock, taking over Strickland, grabbing Punk on with an inside wrist lock, following up with a arm drag. Strike using a CRUCIFIX Carfacy pin to a near fall on Punk. Strider is so stiff and Kathy said Chad. Straggly had a ball of a wear strikes on Punk, but Punk pops up and body slam strike. Punk tried for a other body slam, but Strike continued with a arm drag. Strike turned Punk inside out with a flying Moro. Strikes had Punk in a neck crack. Well, tears at Punk knee. SYDA. Strider worked like looking for the lightning spears, but Punk counters with a dropkick. Strike challenge and with a siding knee strikes on Punk. Nothing but impact there, said Excalibur. Punk body slams SYDAY. Siding on the ring apron. Punk come over the top with a rolling senton. Punk hooking strikes in the corner in the tree of wood. Punk ran into the corner, but Punk siding set up a dodging Punk. Both mans climbing to the second turnbuckle and knocking each other down to the arena floor. Siding clocked Punk with a jumping knee. Striding was looking for the lightning spear against, but Punk continued with a neck break. But Punk used a rising knee strike and then a short arm ALARIT lariat on SYDAL. Siding, striding ducks a pep twist from Punk and hit the lightning spell. Punk BARELY. Punk kicks out in time. I have no idea how Punk kicks out of the side task. But Side was searching for a shot star press, but Punk sees it. Punk challenge strike with the GST-S and pinned him. But it was a good match. A win is a win, but CM Punk just broad defended Matt Strike and said Excalibur. Punk and Sight hanging after the match in sign of mortuary respect. The Runaway, the Ruby Soho versus the Bunny. Ruby backed the Bunny up, but the Bunny saw back in. Ruby kicked the Bunny in the midsection and followed up with a two deep in a arm drag. Ruby blasted the Bunny with the knee. The Bunny charged back, kicks. Ruby fall a loop with a knee. Ruby trips up the Bunny. Ruby clamped to the top ropes, but the Bunny pulls her down with a Ruby hit her head on the way down. The Bunny followed up with a siding Larry. Ruby fires back with a running kick to the Bunny head. She follows up with a backdrop suplex. Ruby Soho build momentum here, said Excalibur. The Bunny rallied back with a German suplex to Soho off the rope. The Bunny tries to pin Ruby, and Ruby kicks out. Ruby chains the Bunny with a backside and pinned her. Pulling Pendlew forward, ran out and attacked Ruby Soho from behind. The Bunny hold Ruby up and Pendlew forward, dropped Ruby after punching her with the basic connectionless. But either much I mean, look, I mean, I seen this match. This match didn't do it for me either. So we get the main event tornado match. The Inner Circle, Demon, God, Chris Jericho, Jay Kurgan, the TNT champion, Squash Guard, Sammy Guevara, the Man of the Year, all Egypt, Ethan Page, and Scorpio Sky, and make his part pro wrestling debut from UFC champion Jeremy Does Santino with American Tag Team Dan Larry and Bodyguard Joe Reed. Joe Reed May Masvidal. Joe Maury. Austin, then Ford Page, then Zinke and uh Dalton Roast were watching from the front row. Scar Ruman, Sammy with a elbow strike. Sammy connected with a back elbow. Sammy backflip over Sky and hit Sky with a neck drop kick. Jericho tagging in the junior dog. Dos Santino tag in JDS Bro Blue Groves, Jericho with a body shot, JDS drop hammer, Furs on Jericho, Hager tags in, but Doris Santino used him first on his own. JDS had Hanger sending C's Starks after a knee to the face on the outside. Jericho got in the face of Joe Jorg Joe most bodied. Well, Jericho was disrupted. Ethan Page attacked Jericho from behind, but back in the ring, JD power slam Jericho, slamming tagging him with a springboard cutter in the then a spring flyer to Scott for a near fall. Jericho took down Scott with a double surge and then a lion saw for a near fall. JD dropped Jericho. Hager with a knee strikes. Hager pick up JDS and board him through the timekeeper table. Sky and Jericho traded forearms in the center of the ring. Sky attempted the TKO, but Jericho counters with the walls of Jericho Page and then Zager distracted Abari. Elvis, well, Jaguar Masvidal Maury hit the rain knee on Jericho. Ethan Page wanted no more time in pinning the stunner. Jericho, the American top team, jump in the ring and begin a beatdown on Jericho and Santino and Ortiz. Sprinting to the ring, come to the aid of Jericho in the inner circle. And I'm hoping this match happen at full out 5-on-5 elimination on the inner circle, an American top team coming up. I'm really hoping that at Full Gear this match happens. Oh yeah, because this is a short match. Because I mean, like Tony Khan really either much thought he was gonna beat AEW over there. Look, Tony Khan though, I don't have nothing but respect for the man. Nothing but respect to Tony Khan because he's the one. I told you, he's the one pay the writers, he the one pay the curators, the producers, he the one pay the ring announcers, he the one pay the interview because Tony Schiavone is the one write all the WWE AEW paychecks. He either must sign them and give it to his WWE AEW superstars that who work for him in the company. But Tony Khan don't either much need to be Smackdown in the ratings. He don't need to beat him. Because Tony Khan is the one that he signed Scorpio Sky to a 5-year contract. He done signed it Dr. Britt Breaker to a 5-year contract and turned around done signed it look, it's room for Kevin Owens if he want to come in because his contract don't either much go up into January. It don't go up. So when his contract expires, I see that Kevin Owens is gonna be packing his bags and he is gonna be on his way out of the door because WWE is just don't have no other plans for him to do in WWE. So I really see him. I don't leave it because I hope he don't sign another contract with WWE. And so I had seen that people been saying that you come back and either much cover Monday Night Raw finally for the past several months, and then because I know the booking is same rematch after rematch after WWE though. I know it ain't no tag teams on the roster. I know the women's division. They done called up Tony Storm. They done called up Tegan Knox and Saucy Blackheart to the main roster. Look, WWE, they just didn't have a storyline for them. They did not have a storyline for Tegan Knox and Saucy Blackheart. That's why you didn't see them used on Friday Night Smackdown when the crowd was returned. So that's why they broke up teams. Like they split the New Day up and sent them to SmackDown. They have split it Mace and T-Bar because they split Natalia and Tamina up and they don't do a damn thing for our women's division. And they don't do nothing for our women's division. So they have them either much Natalia is on SmackDown, Tamina is on Raw. You either much have look, I already know Bianca Belair is on on Raw. She did everything she can do in the women's division over there. Putting people over it is the strongest SmackDown Women Championship, but all that build up that WWE done with her for the past several months over there on Friday Night SmackDown, look, that's over with. So Roman Reigns is drafted over to SmackDown, and look, Fox would have been pissed off if Roman Reigns would have got drafted over there to Monday Night Raw, because Roman Reigns is the best thing who they got over there. He's the one making Fox better. He done put over Kevin Owens twice. Not put over. He done beat it Kevin Owens. He done beat it Kevin Owens. He done beat it Kevin Owens. He done beat it Edge and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. He done beat it Edge at WWE Money in the Bank. Done beat it John Cena at SummerSlam. Done beat it Rey Mysterio at the WWE Hell in the Cell. He have done beat it. Roman Reigns done have beat it either much like he been the WWE champion for 400 days. He been the WWE Smackdown Women's Championship. And then I'm studied like he beat it then battle at Extreme Rules over there on SmackDown because now you want to if Paul the wheels is gonna start to turn on Roman Reigns and Crown Jews if Paul Heyman is gonna turn on him. But him being a heel is working for his character, his promos. It's just starting, it's just clicking. It's hitting on all cylinders right where it need to go with WWE. But at WWE, they starting to get a little boring with Brock Lesnar. And if WWE decided to take the belt off of Brock Lesnar, and then off of Roman Reigns, and they put the bet on Brock Lesnar, he is not going to have no opponents to face. He is not going to be coming to house shows. He's not going to be defending that title every week. We all know that's not going to be happening, and we ain't going to see that title into 2022. So whoever the winner comes out of WrestleMania, look, if we don't get the Rock Dwayne Johnson to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, he is not available. Maybe we wait till WrestleMania 39, and I know he want to wrestle in his backyard at WrestleMania California coming up in 2023. So like I just said, that I will be trying to I'll be trying to tell you that because people like Drew McIntyre could be the one that win the guy to beat Roman Reigns because you remember that when WWE had built him up is a WWE he won the championship at WrestleMania 36 and when it was a in front of no crowd at WrestleMania. And then even when WWE building him up against, been building him up against his booking Drew McIntyre against Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. They built him up against Randy Orton. They built him up against, at WWE Payback. They built him up against Randy Orton at SummerSlam. They built him up against Randy Orton at WWE Hell in a Cell. I'm sorry, at WWE Clash of champions. They beat in the Avalanche match, and Drew McIntyre beat him, and Ric Flair was the one that drove him out in the Avalanche truck. And then you have Randy Orton feuded with Drew McIntyre was the one. Randy Orton beat it. Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell and took the WWE Championship off of him. And then coming up as a Survivor Series, that they didn't want Randy Orton to face Roman Reigns because they know that Roman Reigns ain't gonna let Randy Orton ain't gonna let Roman Reigns do what he want him to do in a match against him at Survivor Series. He ain't gonna let him have his way like he want to. With Roman is gonna be he has some challenges. He going up against Jeff Hardy. He going up against Sheamus. He going up against who else I can name who's over there on SmackDown. Look, Sheamus ain't winning that title, so and somebody else who I can name. Ricochet. He going up against. He ain't winning shit either. So he is Roman Reigns is facing brand new challenges. He is going to beat them all because when it's time for Roman Reigns to drop that WWE Universal Championship, who is going to be the one that stand in his way? Because WWE don't have nobody on that main roster who is ready to take the title off or Roman Reigns?
I just don't know what to expect tonight.
Nobody.
It's been a minute, right?
So,
It's almost 3 weeks.
and he probably won't drop it next year until we get the rest of him. I know Drew McIntyre is over there. He probably won't be doing that much with him. So, with Drew, got built up at Money in the Bank at the Elimination Chamber. He got built up. He had to go through 5 men to retain his title and lost it back and forward. Like with WWE in the company, y'all is gonna, like, I hate to say it, ruin him with Drew McIntyre, because you know how it is though. You really think that Vince McMahon is gonna give you a gimmick so you can be successful with? Look, that man is petty. He's selfish. Don't want to build up WWE superstars in the company to push them. Don't care nothing about the tag team division and the Universal Championship. So about talented. Long as he care about money going in his safe, that's all he care is about. Because either much with Vince McMahon though, is he petty. So you already know how Vince is. You got Bruce and John Laurinaitis and Kevin Dunn in that company. All those damn monkeys he got working for him don't know what the hell they doing.
Oh, there's no question. And like I said, I've seen
And either much have like I just said, you either much have Vince probably gonna be the one. He is gonna die with it in his company. But I hope Bruce Picture don't be the one that take over the company. It would be a disaster if he do. But I don't trust Bruce Picture running. I don't want him running the WWE creator. I don't want him in charge. Wait a minute, he a charger. He's an executive producer of Monday Night Raw and Smackdown, but he just need to be fired and bring in new creators, bring in a new director, bring and get John Laurinaitis the hell out of there. Because he shouldn't be managed, he shouldn't be developed, talented, because I don't trust him. So Vince don't give a fuck about the fans and don't care what they want.
Berkey, I think this will be his second postseason actually pitching in front of fans? Because I know last year they didn't pitch in front of fans. So I think the biggest key to this game is Berkey has got to be, calm, cool, and collected. I know it's obviously easier said than done, but I mean, Boston fans are going to be rugged. And also, I think that if you look at the game, those key teams in the first and second of the game two, I mean, but if you look at game 3 to 9, they so I mean, they really held them in check after those first 2 innings. So I wouldn't worry about it. And the Astros are, I mean, if any team can handle those first 2 innings, those are the
and tonight,
and I think they got this series.
I'll be coming on Monday Night Raw, recovering the show. And I'll be covering the show on Monday Night Raw and the results, because I already know we see the match against Big E. Teaming up with Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode. And this is the same rematch again to my highs, Drew McIntyre and Big E. Those two is going to be coexisting with each other. Dude, they don't need to coexist with each other. They ain't friends, partners, homeboys. They ain't close with each other in the company. The only thing where Drew McIntyre is on concentrate on getting that WWE championship off of Big E, but I don't see it happening on at Crown Jewel because he gonna be on SmackDown on a Friday, and Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair, and somehow Becky Lynch is gonna interfere in that match and cost Bianca Belair her World Women's Championship, and Charlotte is gonna find a way to retain. That's what she is gonna find a way to do. But Becky Lynch is gonna be on Monday Night Raw and let Bianca and Becky Lynch finish up their feud. And either way, look, WWE would do some stupid shit. You have Charlotte and Becky would swap belts. But I don't believe that Becky Lynch is dropping that WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't believe that. To I see that Sasha Banks winning, she gonna be over there on SmackDown. She got fresh challengers. Xia Li is over there. You have Tony Storm is over there. Natalia is over there. Charlotte is over there on SmackDown. Naomi is over there on SmackDown. Is over there, and then you either much have but she is gonna be facing some challengers over there on SmackDown. Get active and improve your overall quality of life. And it doesn't take much. It's not invasive. It's a draw some blood. They will draw blood, not invasive. And by the day's end, by the time you leave there, you're going to have the results. And then they can start. And Fox was on FS1. We all want that. So we either must see the special size edition of WWE SmackDown on FS1 had opened up the live from the Toyota Center in Orlando, California, as Michael Cole welcomed us. He joined like I say, and it's a good thing to change your life. He joined side by Pat McAfee. They hyped tonight's show and announced that Brock Lesnar and the WWE Universal Champion, that Roman Reigns will sign the Crown Jewels contract, and also announced that the Street Profits versus the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, be in a street fight.
This report is sponsored by AEW. All AEW pharmacies are hosting a COVID and flu vaccine clinic this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. First, second,
so Edge.
Flu shots are also available and may require a copay or cash payment. Book your appointment at AEW.com/vaccine. Please wear your mask.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online.
WWE SmackDown kickoff with Edge walking down to the ring. He sat on a chair in the ring and said that intro things with Seth started 7 years ago when Seth tried to use him in Sleep, Stepping Stone, and 7 years later, all of those weeks after he beat him at Madison Square Garden, Seth kept calling him out even though he knows he was not medically cleared. Edge shows up to SmackDown and Seth goes to Edge home. We cut backstage to Seth watches Edge say that was from his playbook because all of those years ago he slept at Cena Dad. He say he underestimated him, and he said not having done that because they will be like underestimating himself, and he never does that. Ed say they are very much alike, and when they see their mistake, they capitalize on it at SummerSlam, and Edge beat him at Madison Square Garden. He underestimated him, and Seth beat him.
All their cars come with a free limited warranty. If you're in the market for a car, keep
And Edge tells him he is the only person who, when he in the ring, come closer to a match, has press Edge say Seth is not each like he can aim that he was work wrong. Seth is Seth Rollins, that fan chant Seth you suck. Edge say he can go to Seth house and have a in Carton with Becky, but he won't do that. A following weeks ago, Seth said he feels sorry for him. That was a mistake. You never follow a sympath from a devil, and that was they are. Ed say he won't hesitate to put Seth down, and he will not have a second through, and Seth will have not to put Seth down, and he will have not a second through about it. In their story, it ended at Hell in a Cell. Tell Seth he knows he is watching, and he want him to listen closely. Edge tells him at Hell in a Cell he is going to soar his soul, and that is so that he never hear from Edge, dropping the microphone and live the ring. But a great promo by Edge, and you can tell there was no script. They probably have the match off the night at Crown Jewel too. Yeah. I said that because Edge is going to get his payback on Seth Rollins. He is going to murder Seth Rollins in that cage match and beat the hell out of him. And then he is going to tap. And Seth Rollins is going to beat Edge. And finally, it will be the end to those two because Edge is going to be on Raw. And Seth Rollins is going to be on Monday Night Raw, and Pilot chase after Big E in that WWE World Heavyweight WWE Championship. And King of the Ring, man, Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn. The bell ring. We are underway. In a armbar by Finn Balor, Sami gets out. It's Sami with a chop to the chest as he runs to the rope in a sunset flip by Sami Just. Finn gets out of it in a drop kick by Finn, other armbar by Finn in the middle of the ring, but Sami with a knee to the stomach and a clothesline by Sami. He goes for the cover, but Finn kicks out. Finn plays Finn on the second rope as he chokes him. A right hand by Sami and a magnified hand lock. He runs to the ropes, but Finn throws him out. Out. Headlocks him, run to the ropes, but Finn throws him over the top ropes to the outside. Finn falls over the top rope onto Sami. Back from the commercial break, Sami with a right hand, but Finn with a right hand and overhead kicks by Finn takes Sami down. Sami on the ring apron, but Finn throws him into the turnbuckle. Sami hangs Finn up on the top rope. Sami clams the top rope, but Finn with a chop to the chest. Finn on the second rope, but Sami pushes him down. Sami jumps, but Finn with a drop kick. He goes for the cover, but Sami kicks out. Finn with a headlock, but Sami with the Blue Thunder bomb. He goes for the cover, but Finn Balor kicks out. Sami with the explosive suplex. Sami goes for the horror kick, but Finn moves out of the way. Finn with a kick to the face. He clams the top rope, but Sami trips him up. Sami goes for the cover and places his feet on the ropes, but the ref sees it and stops the count. Sami agree with a ref, but Finn with ring, right hand, Finn with the signal blade, Finn climb the top rope, Finn goes, Finn the cup, the grace, but Finn moves out of the way. Sammy goes for the roll up, but Finn kicks out. Sammy goes for the explosive, but Finn gets out of the it and he hit Sammy with the drop kick. Finn with other drop kick. Finn climbed the top rope and he hit him with the cup. Do Grace hit goes for the cover and get the pin. In a good match between Finn and Sammy, they can go with two face for the final, which could be with the one Finn winning the King of the Ring can be something they can use if they want to push him, but this company probably wouldn't un, unto him propel. Look, to me, the match with Finn Balor, I enjoyed the matchup, but WWE want to push Finn Balor over on Monday Night. Well, look, I like to see him go up against Big E, Austin Theory, Damian Priest, Kevin Owens. I like to see him go up against Big E, Austin Theory, Kevin Owens, Damian Priest, Seth Rollins. I've seen those two face a bunch of times before. I would like to see him go up against, say, Keith Lee, Karrion Kross. I would like to see Sami Zayn Finn Balor get pushed because they talking about over on Monday Night Raw. They want to get him a fresh push over there in that company. On that blue brand. Red brand. I'm getting my words mixed up street. Let me get on the right track. Naomi versus Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler. Out comes Sonya Deville in a shirt. She say that Naomi walked out of her office last time before she was done speaking. Naomi will have a match against herself and Shayna Baszler. The bell rang and Shayna slapped Naomi as Naomi gets back in. She knocks Shayna down and chase Sonya in drop toe hold by Naomi onto Sonya. In running knee by Sonya take Naomi down. They double team Naomi in the ring. Naomi fights back, knocking Sonya down. She jumps off the second rope and knocking Sonya down with a kick. Sonya clammed the first rope on hold her leg. Naomi grabs Sonya, but Sonya with the calf. Cuffler. What would I say? KIRFUDA cuffler clutch. Sonya put her foot on Naomi and get the pin. The build up that Naomi against Sonya, but if all they are going to do, Sonya is pushing her probably and never had Naomi win anything, they would not be pretty to watch. I know because Naomi is getting fucked over. And she knows she getting fucked over because she just got drafted to Smackdown. She haven't wrestled for a couple of months ever since she was traded over from Monday Night Raw and drafted to Smackdown. She has not been wrestling. It could have been better if she could have wrestled Toni Storm. It would have been better if she would have wrestled Sasha Banks, Natalya, Tegan Knox, Stassi Blackheart. It would have been better if she would have been wrestling. WWE, they not trying to give her a push. Maybe you could have her go to Paul Heyman and be her mentor and let her get away from those gimmicks, get her away from the globe and get her out of that jacket and put her on a gear and let her be a heel because I am dying for her to beat the holy shit out of Sonya Deville and have her off for TV for a couple of months. Then she gets fired, and then you can have Naomi go. You can have Roman Reigns. You don't see him on Smackdown, and you have Paul Heyman go to Adam Pearce and tell him that I want Naomi to be restated here on SmackDown. And Adam Pearce would tell him after what she did to Sonya Deville, you think I'm gonna restate her back, but you ain't gonna see Roman Reigns till she get her job back. So that's what I keep hoping they keep pushing. Naomi is a heel character.
And specifically, this one team we haven't mentioned, they're better than a lot of people are giving credit for. And they can very
And we get Sasha Banks is backstage. She say they are 6 days away from Crown Jewels, where she will make history and take back her championship. She say she has been doing history since day one. She come back to get her title back. At last week, she beat up Bianca. In those weeks, it will be Becky. She say she will be the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Let's see. Coming up this Thursday at Crown Jewels. Let's see. Out come Seth Rollins to the ring. The fan chants Seth Rollins, you suck, as he tells them that Edge come out and try that convince everyone himself that he has a chance against him at Crown Jewels. He say he is not immediately or afraid to face Edge in the hell inside a Hell in a Cell and that become.
Here, a picture of what you call him, baby. That's the baby. That's the daddy. That's the baby again. That's old badass holding the baby. Look how he holds with his fat self. And that's the daughter. That's my grandson too. That's a big baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big baby.
Big old legs and stuff. That's still pretty. She make me think of me when I was going to school. She gonna look like a Mexican and black. That's a big old baby. I asked him, when y'all gonna have a baby? We already had the baby. I'm like, what? That's him laying in the bed cement that he holding me. I figured he was gonna be big because look at that. You talking on the phone, man? Talking loud? Yeah, get down talking loud.
Edge inside the Hell in a Cell, and he has already froze over in California. Ed said that he was wrong and Seth is not Edge likely. And Seth say Ed is feeling really realizing that he is better than Edge is every single possibly way. Seth say he is an Edge head. Has out multiply let the master on mind games. He say he is going in with a multiple average and a physical average after what happened to Edge at Madison Square Garden. He say Edge has a ice up his sleeve, which is Hell in a Cell. Say he is not immediately or afraid of Edge. The fans chant that they want Edge. Self say the Edge is right in the that are similar, but there is one major difference between them. Seth has spent more time in the Hell in a Cell. Edge has, he know what they stretch does to people. He knows that it has done to him. He is the man he is today because of Hell in a Cell. And he has that end of crown jewels, but not the way Edge thinking. He know this because he is the veteran, the REVELUTIONARY veteran. He is Seth Rollins. He dropped the microphone and leaves to the back. Carmella, I mean, yeah, but Edge and Seth, those two, I hope it's over and done with. Coming up at Crown Jewels.
Finding the perfect costume. It's going to be an autumn to remember. It may also be a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19.
And I hope it's over and done with. So Seth can move on to somebody else, and Edge can move on. I don't know what's the future holds for Edge in the WWE. Carmella is backstage and comes. Zelina Vega, she says she is glad they took care of Leah Moore because if Zelina is going to win the Queen of the tournament, Queen Crown tournament, they want to go up against the best, and they all know that Carmella is 10 times better than Liv Morgan and Tony Storm. Selena tells her she won't break anything, and there is no need for her to wear her mask. Carmella leads in heads over to the ring. Those two ain't winning the Queen of the Ring tournament. So it could be Zelina Vega win the Queen of the... I'm sorry. It can be Shayna Baszler winning the Queen of the Ring tournament.
This is for the men who never settle. The ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick. The type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera. And the men.
Seth Rollins with a promo to get you in more instant in his match with Ed. This one can and will be the best at Crown Jewels. So quick crown turn to Carmella versus Zelina Vega. Carmella rolls up Vega, but Vega kicks on right away, wrist lock by Carmella, trying to escape, but Carmella keeps her down with the arm bar. Zelina finally down out the exchange. A couple of the moves Zelina changing. Carmella won't for her face. Carmella goes to the outside, wanting to get the protection mask. Leah Morgan has the protection mask outside, and Carmella goes back in. Zelina rolls her up for the win. Look, that match didn't last long. It just didn't. And Happy talk with Happy Corbin and Madcap Most. Corbin tells Madcap tells a joke, and he tells a lame one. Corbin say Owens couldn't take Happy talk. And that way he goes to the be on Raw. Madcap asking, what do you call when Owens is rolling around and pinned on the ground just of the Friday night they both laid off? Madcap tells of a joke and outcome Rick Boo's playing the guitar, he inducted Shinsuke Nakamura to the ring. So Nakamura and Booing walking around the ring, and out come the Street Profits.
Contain it a little bit, and yet most can't. I mean, can you imagine how maddening it would be to prepare for a game?
Okay.
Say, well, if we just
So back from the commercial that using it, Dawkins with a kendo stick in the ring, they go for the cover, but Dawkins kicks out the Usos continue to hit Dawkins with the kendo stick forward with a crossbody of the top rope. Jay is throwing to the outside of the ring. Ford grab a chair and throws it to Jimmy as Jimmy catch it and Ford with a kick to the face, knocking him down. Jay back in the ring and hit Ford with a Samoan drop. Jay goes for a splash, but Ford with a kick to the face. Dawkins gets in the ring and they double team Jay. Ford goes for the cover.
Cincinnati can't score on they can score. Can you believe we're talking about the Bengals like this? Organized them to
For the cover, but Dawkins kicks out the Usos and applies top rope, but Ford knocks it Jay down to the outside Ford with a kick onto Jimmy. Dawkins with a spring buster. Ford went a pointed off at the top rope. He goes for the cover, but Jay drags Ford onto the outside. He slammed Ford through the table on the outside.
Lost to Chicago. I mean, it was really windy, but okay, they beat Pittsburgh.
So Dawkins on the outside attacking Jay. He gets in the ring and goes for the cover, and Jimmy kicks on Jay with a right hand and Jimmy with a super kick. They hit Dawkins with a double super kick. The Usos on the top rope in the double splash. They go for the cover and get the pin, winning the Smackdown titles. And also winning the Smackdown tag titles. But it was a good match. But right, the Street Profits was not WWE was not gonna let the Usos drop that WWE Tag Team Championship to the Street Profits, and then it's no tag teams in that division on SmackDown on that blue brand because the Hit Row is gonna be coming in because I would like to see Ashanti Adonis and Isaiah Swerve take on the Usos for their SmackDown Tag Team Championships because they coming in this week. So I want to see how their character actually is going to be played out. So either much who?
I would like to think that Cleveland would bounce back.
Excuse me.
The way they're playing right now concerns me, and injuries.
And then, like I either must say, I told Queen that you either must know the WWE could break the Street Profits up in 22 because they want to push Monte forward into a single push and have him be successful in a singles run. And then you put him and Bianca Belair together. Those two is going to be heels in the company working together. Bianca Belair is going to make Montez Ford a whole lot better. And she said, "What do that lead? Daniel? I'm sorry. What did that lead? Dawkins, Angela Dawkins. I said he could be on the losing end. He could be on the losing end. That's what he could be on because it's a way that WWE probably released him from the company. You seen how they broke him and Otis up from away from Tucker.
for a field goal and possibly missing it. They throw a touchdown.
And either much
I understand the heartbreaking part of it, but the problem is heartbreaking losses are still losses.
I mean, you're absolutely right. Let's look at this one.
and either much so you either and Queen Lady told me, I don't want them to do that right now. I don't want them to do that right now. So Becky Lynch is backstage incoming. Kayla Braxton say that Sasha went to talk about Grantless, but Grandness is beginning undefeated in singles matches in almost 3 years. Granted, in having a baby come back and waiting the title. Granted will be beating Sasha Banks, and Granted will be retaining her title at Crown Jewels.
Your season say 3 plays there, 4 plays there, a botch snap here, a holy call when we threw a first down.
And I am not a big fan of these tag team matches those days in the WWE, but there was a great match. The Usos and the Street Profits didn't overdo it when the whippings in the street fight. So we get a match, Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. Outcome, Bianca Belair as she joined the team on the commentary of the bell ring, and we are underway. Becky to the ropes, but a shoulder tackle, knocking Sasha down. She goes for a leg drop, but Sasha moves out of the way. Sasha goes for a drop kick, but Becky moves out of the way. She goes for the cover, but Sasha kicks out both women, breaks up Becky with a arm bar. But Sasha receives it into a headlock. Sasha gets Becky in the corner and hit her with a double stomp. She goes for the cover, but Becky kicks out. She went a arm bar, but Becky received it. She slamming Sasha, and Becky goes for the cover, but Sasha bangs out Becky on the ring apron, but Sasha slammed her into the ring apron. Sasha on the ring apron. She goes for the double knee, but Becky moves out of the way. Becky breaks for the cover, but Sasha kicks out. Becky throws Sasha to the outside. Sasha goes back into the ring, but Becky on Sasha. Becky with a rain head of a big dog by Becky. Sasha goes for the cover, but Sasha kicks out Becky with a headlock, but Sasha with a superplex. Sasha goes for the cover, but Becky kicks out on the ring apron, but Becky with a right hand in the throwing Sasha into the ring apron, but Becky with a disarm her while using the ropes, but claiming the second ropes in a leg drop onto Sasha goes for the cover, but Sasha kicks out. Becky grabs Sasha, but Sasha with a jawbreaker. Sasha goes for a splash on Becky, but Becky moves out of the way. Becky on the ring apron, and Sasha grab her and slam her into the ring post. Sasha with the mortar on the ring post. Yeah. I mean the ring. Sasha claimed the top rope, the model of the off the rope for the cover, but Becky kicks out. Sasha goes for the bank statement, but Becky got on out of it. Becky on the second ropes, but Sasha with a right hand. Sasha on the second ropes, but Becky pushed her down. Becky jumps out the second rope. Sasha moves out of the way and hit her with the bank statement. Becky rolls to the outside, both women on the rope apron, and Becky trips Sasha up and hit her with a leg drop. Becky jumps off the ring steps, but Sasha clams her and get her in the bank statement. Becky taps out. Sasha throws her back in the ring. Sasha clams the top rope, and Sasha hits Becky with the frog splash. Sasha goes for the cover, but Becky kicks out and Sasha with a right hand. Sasha with a double knee onto Becky. Sasha goes for a other but Becky oh Becky catch her and hit her with the back explosive. She goes for the cut, but Becky has her feet on the ropes and the referee stopped the count. Becky climbed the top rope and she hits Sasha with a leg drop. Sasha goes for the cut, but Sasha kicks out. Becky goes for other leg drop, but Sasha moves out of the way and to the outside. Sasha goes for a DDT, but Becky throws her towards Bianca. Becky goes for a right hand, but she moves out of the way and she knocks Bianca down. Sasha hits Bianca through her in the ring. Sasha goes for the flower splash out of the top rope, but Becky gets her knee up. She goes for the cover, but she kicks out. Becky with a double underhook suplex. Becky goes for the cover, but Sasha kicks out. Becky goes for the manhandle slam, but Sasha rolls her up, but Becky knocks out Sasha with the backstabber, and she goes Becky in the bank segment. But Becky make it to the ropes. Bianca slam Becky arm into the steel steps. Sasha with the banks segment. She goes for the cover and get the pin.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker.
Oh, that's me spitting it out. So
And schedule a visit or call
the WWE Universal Champion contract signing. And before we get to that, I like the way how Bianca Belair, she was getting involved the same way when Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair right after in the draft, she costed Bianca Belair the match. The same thing she did to her in Charlotte. And if you thought Bianca Belair wasn't gonna get involved in that match, you was serious dead wrong. Because if you thought Bianca Belair wasn't going to be showing up on Smackdown tonight. So I like the way how she got involved. I like the way she got involved in the match and caused Becky Lynch the match. I like how she did that. And she has not forgotten about it. So the WWE Universal Champion contract signing, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Out comes Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman to the ring. Brock Lesnar music hits and out. He comes to the ring. Lesnar sit on the chair. As the fan chant suplex city, Heyman reads the contract and Heyman gives Roman a pin. Heyman tells Roman it's everything he requested. As Roman signed the contract, Lesnar grabbed a pin and signed the contract. Roman tells Lesnar he must be a kin of the dumbass and a dumb foreman. He tells Lesnar he signed it without reading it. Lesnar lent and tells Roman he read the contract E-list with his arrogant Paul Heyman. Lesnar stand up and leave the ring. Roman look at Brock and look at Heyman.
greatest ever do
I mean,
have walked on this very
it's mind game. They playing mind. I mean, with Lesnar
it's not big.
and
I mean, I know
he's got up under Roman Reigns' skin and he's fucking with him. So you know Roman Reigns is gonna retain that belt coming up at Crown Jewels. I will pronounce the card predictions at midnight. I will pronounce it. So
the Boston Globe's got another story out about how the Midway Park crowd is so much better than the Houston crowd and all this crap. I'm like, you've been to more games than I have, Sean, but I've been
so
and in
we've been on for 2 hours, have we? So I'm getting off. So
loud to where you can't hear yourself.
make sure you put your likes on.
It was loud. It wasn't that kind of loud. It wasn't like as much as I hate Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium is massive.